Welcome to the Prenup, the wedding-obsessed podcast designed to help you plan your dream day. I'm your host, Adriana, and each week I'm joined by the industry's top professionals, celebs, influencers, and friends who are sharing their best tips, advice, and mistakes they've made so you don't have to. The Prenup is a Love Stories TV podcast. This episode is brought to you by Honey Fund. Join more than 1 million couples on Honey Fund and start your fee-free registry at honeyfund.com today. When you hear the name Rime Arodaky, your mind may immediately go to your Pinterest board of sexy, modern, feminine gowns. Rime is not only one of the great wedding gown designers of our generation, she is also a bride-to-be herself. Rime Arodaky, welcome to the Prenup podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. When I was doing research for you to come on, I was on your website and I came across a Spotify playlist. And I was like, Rime and I are immediately going to be best friends. We had Janet Jackson, Madonna, George Michael, Seal. And I was like, oh yeah, this is where it's at.
Yeah, I'm a lot into music and it's definitely part of my DNA and my inspiration daily.
Do you find that curating a playlist is in any ways similar to curating collections? Because there's all these design elements that we love and that we want to focus on, but with certain collections, maybe there's a certain theme, much like a playlist.
Totally. I would say that creating a playlist is more to give like a vibe to a collection.
Yes.
And I always love to immerse myself into a playlist before starting designing any new design. So there will always be like a vibe, or like, for example, next collection is a lot into Lana Del Rey and Sofia Coppola's world.
Ooh.
So I want that's very feminine, vintagey.
Yeah, a little more moody.
Yeah, moody,
Ooh.
Romantic, a bit melancholia as well. So I would love to dive deep into a playlist before, going into a new collection each season.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely gets you into a certain headspace, and music just changes the vibe of everything, really.
Totally.
So that playlist, particularly, if you go on your website, anyone go to, what's your rimearodaky.com?
Yeah, .com. Yeah.
If you scroll to the bottom, you'll find her Spotify playlist. It's amazing. It's really good for morning of the wedding, I think.
Totally.
It's like that girly kind of...
I actually have many playlists, and my team is very eager to get to find out about the next one that I do, because I change every month.
Okay.
And I have like getting ready playlist or bachelorette playlist.
Yes.
And I even do... give the choice to my brides when they come into store to pick their playlist. Like, do you want sexy energy, or do you want like classic New York, jazzy and stuff? So
yeah, because you have your flagship locations. You have Paris and New York.
Yes.
And you are here for the week with your New York brides.
Yes.
So what can a bride expect when she comes into the flagship of either location?
Paris is definitely different because I have all my atelier and seamstresses there, so it's a bit of a bigger space. But I would say effortless chic. You kind of feel the Parisian vibe in the New York store. I wanted this to be a mix of the two worlds, the futuristic, modern, silver accent touch of New York, and obviously the chevron cut floor, wood flooring, like cool, cute vibe of Parisian flats. And I wanted to mix these two worlds in terms of aesthetic.
Yes.
And obviously, we always try to create the best experience. And I don't want to reveal everything because I have to keep it a secret.
Of course.
But we always try to improve and challenge ourselves in curating an experience that is best in class.
And you do, I mean, such a phenomenal job. Your dresses are just, gosh, we drool over them. I have loved your designs for so long. But speaking of keeping things maybe a little more tight-lipped, I do want to ask you about your own wedding. So I know you can't reveal everything to me.
Can't yet.
But I want to know just your experience, because you've been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah, 12 years now.
12 years,
Yes.
yeah. So has your experience in the industry shaped at all your experience as being a bride?
Definitely. I would lie if I was not to say that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And even like 5 years ago, probably I would have approached it differently because each year is a new learning and lesson. So I definitely used all the experience that I got from my brides themselves to curate my experience, my wedding, and try to be the most relaxed bride as I could. So, and try just to make the best of it and, enjoy the moment and just take it all in.
Sure. And you spend so much time kind of fawning over brides. I'm sure you love being around brides.
Of course.
To be the bride yourself, is it kind of a surreal experience?
It's kind of weird because I'm always like, I'm not the kind of person who's going to put herself first. And I still need to deliver and take care of my brides this season. So while I'm organizing my own wedding, I still, take care of all these brides around the world. So obviously I always I'm the last of the list. I'm really bad. And even my atelier, they're like, oh, we'll do your dress later because we have this client first and this bride first. And I'm like, guys, I'm also getting married.
I'm the bride
too. Yes.
Hello.
I need to have a seamless experience and the champagne and the dream. And at the same time, of course, I'm not going to put myself out there the same way I do it with my bride. So, but, I'm relaxed because I know what I want. I know who I am. I've been there. I saw it. So I'm a little more chill, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've designed your own dress?
Definitely. Yes. Not only one, actually.
So can you tell us how many?
Yeah. I would say one, even two. Two for the civil ceremony because it's something big in France.
Okay.
Registry is not something that you do just like that. You invite people, you have a cocktail party. So this is what we do. And I have two outfits for this.
Sure.
And definitely for the I don't know if we call it a real wedding, but the big wedding, even if it's a small one.
Yes.
I would say 4 outfits.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And you've been giving us little snippets, little tastes on social media.
Sure.
Which if anyone doesn't follow, which I'm sure anyone who's listening does, we just are eating up so much. You just had your bachelorette party.
I did.
Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, it was amazing because I told my friend for years and months that I wouldn't want a bachelorette because, I have kids and I'm a mother and I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have time and getting married is already a big thing.
Yes.
And they just wanted to please me and just spoil me. So I was very lucky. But they had the pressure. Because I'm in the industry.
Of course.
Most of my friends, I'm lucky, they also are from the industry. So they gathered the best experience. Most beautiful table, flowers, activities. They actually did it in my Provence mansion in the south of France. So the venue was perfect because I feel home and I always love to go there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's really underrated. Having that experience with your girlfriends, your bridesmaids, somewhere where you feel comfortable. Because I think a lot of times people try to go very out of the box. What have people not done? But if you can get a little more insular and say, what have we done? What do we love? Let's go to Rime's Provence mansion.
Most of French brides, for example, they'll go to Rome or Barcelona or have a weekend trip with the girl.
Sure.
And obviously that was it. But I already told them, you guys, I know it's a lot of work. I'd rather have an amazing table, amazing moments, curated design, decor, outfits, and have our photographs taken.
Yes.
Than going all over the place and, party in a club or something.
And you'll have those forever. I mean, the photographs are so beautiful. You're stunning. Your girlfriends are stunning. It was just such a vibe.
They are.
So speaking of, you're a Parisian girl, which, that's why you're so chic and gorgeous. We're obsessed. But I wanted to ask you, because you and I talked about it a little bit before we started chit-chatting on the podcast.
Yeah.
What do you find to be the biggest differences between a French bride and an American bride?
Yeah. I would say that French brides only go to 3 to 4 places. Yeah. Curate maybe their dream designers before.
Yeah, what for wedding dresses?
Yeah, for wedding dress. Mm-hmm. And while an American bride would probably go everywhere.
You have to go to every shop.
She has to see everything and she cannot have the FOMO. So, I'm still adjusting to this because obviously I'm kind of in a vision of a less is more.
Yes.
And I definitely think that the less you see, the more focused you are. anything you want, like not just the dress hunting, it's for everything. So I would say the big difference and the main challenge is this between the two. And obviously in New York and in the US, you have so much choice and you have a lot of noise, social media and bridal stores and multi-brands and your department stores. So you have the ability to purchase a wedding dress each second because you have this popping every day on your phone. So I'm always trying to, I would not say educating because it's a bit like it's not humble enough, but I would say trying to have a conversation with them saying, you know what, you're here for a reason.
Yes.
Obviously, you love something that you can't find anywhere else.
Yes.
So stick to this and try to really know your inner bride, like who you are and what you want, and don't get lost along the journey.
Yeah, that's such good advice. And feel free to educate us, please, because the people need it. You are an expert. So, I'll brag for you. You can be humble, but I'll brag for you. But yeah, it's so true. It's hard to drown out those things because there might be a certain style that you love, but maybe isn't necessarily the best for your body, or vice versa. Or, you're just seeing all of these different styles and elements, and it's like, God, how do you find is the best way? How do you focus?
It's a very good question. As I said, you have a lot of noise, you have a lot of possibilities, you have so many beautiful brands out there. It's not the point, actually. It's just, I feel like you need to stick to the DNA of a brand who speaks to your heart. Mm-hmm. You need to see if you're aligned with the values first. I would say, let's say when you purchase a bag or a nice outfit, if you say, okay, I love Chanel, I love YSL, it's for a reason. It's because the codes and the values in these brands speaks to your heart, speaks to who you are and who you want to be. Same's for bridal. You wouldn't go all over the place to purchase a Birkin. A Birkin is a mess. It's not Bottega or whatever. So I feel like for a bridal gown, you need to find those 2-3 brands where the core values of the brand speaks to your heart. Is it me? Do I like it? Can I embody it with pride and confidence? And then you got it. Yeah. And then you just stick to these 3 or 4 places. You go there and you trust the specialist. Mm-hmm. Because obviously the stylist or the designer, we don't have any interest in like providing you an ugly gown or making you feel awful. Yeah. We want you to be your best self. So just trust the specialist or even hire a stylist, I would say, because they're amazing for this.
Yes, Rime.
Rather than asking all your friends and family about it, because this is so confusing.
It's so confusing. I love that you said that because we talk a lot about on this show, even with vendors, you can't just look at someone's work and say, that's beautiful, I want to go with them. You are spending the entire wedding day with your vendor, so you have to make sure you're aligned and your values and your personalities jive, because otherwise it's just going to be a cluster of a day. There should be some sort of uniformity and flow to the wedding.
Totally.
Elements to come together.
Yes, and I feel like, you're so right, I feel like the vendors you're going to pick, either the dress or floral or photography, you would basically be friends with them in your daily life.
Yes.
That's a good sign. If you feel like they could be your girlfriends or male friends or whatever, and they could be part of your crew because you're like so on the same page, that's a good sign.
Yes.
That's really a good sign.
But that's what I love about you and your designs, because I've followed you on social. This is the first time we've met in person, but you feel like a girlfriend, and you can tell, and you mentioned that you have great friendships and girlfriends in your life. And I think that's so important when you're considering a wedding dress designer, because it's someone who speaks to like, oh, that's going to look really good on you. It's not just about simply the art. It's really about the feminine body.
Yes. Like when I first launched my brand, it was not about making pretty gowns.
Yeah.
We all do pretty gowns. We're here for that.
Of course.
Of
course.
It was more about giving the power to women to feel confident and free. Mm-hmm. Free of their choice and free of embodying a gown without taking care of what the rest of the world is gonna think.
Yeah.
And as girlfriends and, like with my friends, I'm acting the same way. I love to empower them the same way they love to empower me. And this needs to be the same in curating a selection of dresses for clients.
Sure.
I want to be close to her. I want to know her dreams. It's deeper than just, oh, this lace is pretty, or this craft is nice, or this cut is flattering.
Right.
I mean,
because
obviously,
that means a lot to you. It's your
Exactly.
industry, but to a bride, it doesn't. So there has to be something a little bit deeper than the prettiness of it all.
Totally.
But they're not going to understand the different cuts of lace and all of those kinds of details.
Yes.
Another thing you mentioned is really getting honed in on a certain designer or style and like figuring out your own style. Do you have any right now fashion muses or designers that you're kind of obsessed with?
I have many. I always have. I mean, I have the iconic ones and then I have new ones. In the previous one, I would say that Caroline Bessette Kennedy has always been one because her New York effortless chic style is just timeless to me. And
yes.
To this day, I think her wedding dress was just flawless.
Truly.
Yes.
And so many have emulated it since. And, it's just, oh, God, it's so gorgeous.
I mean, and I love minimalism in the right way.
Sure.
So I think she is absolutely stunning. And for today, I mean, I love Sienna Miller. I think she's embodying the boho rock and roll trend so fiercely and seamlessly, so I really love her.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's not the only one. I love Hailey Bieber's style. I think she dresses perfectly.
She does.
I could steal her wardrobe every day.
Oh, same. Everything I'm like, oh God, I want
that. Exactly. And I mean, still, I love her wedding dress and what she did. She was so inspiring.
She was gorgeous.
So yeah, these are other ones.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So, those designers and muses that you've kind of mentioned, they're very much timeless, I would say. So they're kind of transcending trends. And I think something that brides get a little bit tripped up with when they're wedding dress shopping is, okay, I'm going to look for a dress maybe a year before my wedding. Things are shifting and changing. And how do you recommend for brides to not get caught up into a trend?
That's such a good question. Really, really good one. You're right. It can be tricky and, again, too much noise. I feel like, especially in your late 30s, because that's pretty much the age of I would say of my brides. You have younger ones, but
sure.
I mean, my brand is more for like late 30s, late 20s, early 30s bride. Like when they're too young, they want more of a Cinderella version of it.
Absolutely.
When we're a bit more
modern.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that my bride, especially at this age, usually she knows what she loves.
Yeah.
She knows who she is. So I feel like the first thing, not to get caught into trends, is just to say, okay, what do I dress like every day? Like, what is my style? Am I boho? Am I city chic? Am I don't know, very fashion forward? Am I this or this or this?
Yeah.
What are my colors? What are my favorite cuts? And I feel like you just need to take this and try to make it a more editorial version of it. Would say, okay, I would dare this a bit more in my bridal wear. You know what I mean? So I would say, okay, don't go boho if you're not boho.
Right.
Don't follow the coquette or Marie Antoinette trend if you would never wear corset in your life.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So I think that you just need to stick to who you are.
Yeah.
And just be aligned with all the clothing and cut that feels true and beautiful to you. That's all. And there's nothing out of fashion in bridal if you embody the dress fiercely with confidence. If you look beautiful, if you feel beautiful, if it's flattering, if it's your cut, if it's your shape, it will never go out of trend.
Yeah.
That's my perception.
Oh, that's beautiful advice. Yeah. I really love that. And your dresses, again, I mean, they really are timeless. So we see different things come in and out, the different bodices, but somehow, when I scroll through your collections, they seem very current to me. Nothing is, and I think when we look back on our weddings, that's kind of the goal. Like every bride wants to say, oh, wow, maybe my granddaughter could wear this or whoever.
Yeah. That's a myth, obviously, because,
they're
trends,
never gonna.
Yeah. Look,
they want their own dress.
I would love to wear my grandma's dress. But to be honest, like, I mean, trends come and go. That's the deal.
Yeah.
That's like that. But I would say that maybe not get caught into the shiny new toy trend.
Yeah.
Meaning, okay, there is this new brand or there is this new trend. I need to get into it because it was on TikTok or worn by I don't know how many brides before me. So it gives me the confidence to pick it because someone did it before me, so I can go for it.
Yes.
You don't need that, validation. Like, you don't need to have someone telling you this is the right trend to go to.
Right.
You just need to, again, stick to what you love. And I mean, obviously there are trends, but okay, this is white. The fabrics are usually the same. It's either duchesse satin, crepe, lace, tulle, whatever.
Yeah.
Just find a way to make it yours. Like, especially bridal. Bridal is not a subject to trends as much as fashion is.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times when brides are looking for inspiration, they'll look at bridal things. But to your point, we can kind of look to ourselves and what we've felt really confident in and embody that, but in bridal.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's harder, especially for, people who aren't in the fashion world.
Yes.
But I think we think about it a little bit too much. That's an American thing.
No, but it's not too American. I mean, even the French, like, I'm not going to say only the Americans are like that because the French brides can be also complex and, neurotic as well sometimes. No, I feel it's more of a generation thing more than a cultural thing. It's just that social media has shaped our vision and our life so much now. It's just that we have so many options and we just need to sometimes shut down everything. And even Pinterest, which I love. I mean, that is an amazing tool.
Yes.
Not all Pinterest gowns that you love on photo will suit you. You just need to know your body and shape, and just say, okay, this might not. And sometimes you can also go wrong. I've had so many brides saying, I cannot go to Rime. You need to have this size 0, size 2. That is not true.
Yeah.
That is not true. You just need to go and trust the stylist who's going to say, okay, you know what? I have this for you.
Right.
I have this for you. And just open your heart.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because, Hailey Bieber, I'll just use as an example.
Yes.
She's someone that we both admire style-wise. I'm not built like Hailey Bieber. I love her style,
I'm not either.
But that's not my shape. Yeah, same. I would love to be, a
Tall.
lean line. Yeah,
Yes.
of course. But it's not reality. But I could take it to the stylist and say, this is the style that I love, but I'm working with a little bit more curvature,
Yes.
and what might flatter me a little bit better and draw inspiration from there.
Exactly. That's a nice word. You can draw inspiration from.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be the exact same thing that you saw on social media just because you liked it on a bride.
Yes.
You just say, okay, this is kind of a thing that I like, but I need to make it mine.
Yeah. In fact, if you do that, if you more than draw inspiration, if you're almost copying, then you're going to find that your wedding feels like everybody else's.
Yes.
And it's boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
Honestly.
It's boring. But again, I feel like in today's world, people are afraid to take risk and make a statement.
Yeah.
And even more since COVID, to be honest, because pre-COVID, I saw two worlds. Pre-COVID was, innocence and people were reckless, like, oh, whatever, I want to do this, I'm free, whatever.
Sure.
Today, there is a bit more of a conscious of what they're going to think, or is it going to be published here?
Yeah.
And if it's published, how do I need to look?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So again, free yourself of all these noise and judgment of other people. At the end, you're getting married for yourself.
Totally.
And you just want to feel good and look at the photographs because that's what remains.
Yes, it is.
And just say, that was amazing. And that's it.
Oh, that's really, really good advice. I want a little bit more advice from you now. So
Yes,
for
sure.
any brides who are looking to get their dress.
Yes.
I know we talked a little bit about this, getting your idea, but do you, because you have a lot of brides come into your flagship, you're not just a designer, you are a mother, you're a bride-to-be, you are a maven, you do it all.
Thank you so much.
You're extremely impressive, but that's not my question, My question is more for brides, like, what would you tell them to be prepared with before coming in, before even making an appointment to come to see you?
Okay. In terms of bridal shopping, you mean?
In terms of bridal shopping, yeah.
Again, I feel like you need to stay focused and curate. That's the key word.
Yeah.
Curate anything you want. And maybe do a little research.
Yeah.
And try to just, also, I think the word of mouth is something that is amazing.
Yeah.
If you have friends saying, okay, you know what, go there, that's amazing. I had the best experience. I had actually a really nice comment on my Google review lately. It was very interesting. And I actually say hi to her because she's my Canadian bride. She flew all the way from Canada to Paris to have a dress from us. And she said something very interesting. She said, we leave a lot of reviews on Google or anything else about the wedding dress experience when you just find your dress and you say, go there because it's amazing.
Yes.
But you never talk about the after. The whole experience with the alterations and the delivery and the customer service and how people handle you and stuff. So I will say, and she was so happy about this, so happy. I feel like you need to maybe do some research about the places you want to go to and not just say, oh, that was on Instagram or TikTok, bim, I need to go. No, it's like my husband-to-be is a photographer and wedding photographer, and he always say, okay, what you see from a photographer online is Instagram.
Yeah.
So you definitely feel it's a vibe, you like it, and he's amazing, and this photographer is for me. Ask for a gallery. You need to see a full gallery before committing to someone.
So true.
Yes, exactly. Because a full gallery will really tell you. That's easy to just curate and do the pick and choose on your
the
Instagram.
very best shots.
And actually, I would do the same. I only show the best on my socials.
Absolutely.
We all do that.
Absolutely.
So you need to really do your research and curate the places where it's seamless from A to Z. That would be my
I love that. That's
advice.
Really, really good advice. And something else that I wanted to ask, I don't know if you'll be able to divulge, but for 2025, 2026 brides who are Rime obsessed, as so many are, what can we expect either from the business or the designs? Like, where are we headed?
Oh, nice question. Okay, I'm going to keep it a bit of a secret, but still give you some things.
Yes.
No, I would say that because it's the year I'm getting married, obviously. Yeah. I feel like I got super romantic this season.
Ooh.
It's a lot about romance.
Okay.
And it's a mix of nostalgia and modernity. Ooh. So you will feel a bit of melancholia in some designs and even in the campaigns, photographs or runway or presentation that we will probably do at New York Bridal Week.
Yes.
And a lot of romance because, I've waited kind of like 4 years because I'm a postponed wedding.
Okay.
So I really wanted to emphasize the romance and the dream about it. So I would say the next collection is a lot about that.
Oh, that's fabulous. And when is are you sharing when your wedding is?
Yeah, this summer.
This summer?
This summer,
And in France?
No, destination wedding. Okay. I'm not going to reveal it where yet.
Yeah, just tell me to shut up when I'm prying too hard.
I would say it's by the sea. That's all I would say.
It's going to be wonderful. And tell us a little bit about your fiancé.
Sure.
He's a photographer.
He's a photographer, actually a really good one.
Yes.
His reputation speaks for him,
Share his name with us, please.
Greg Fink. So he's a wedding photographer. He's been in the industry for about 10 years as well.
Okay. Is that how you two met?
Yes. Actually at a wedding fair in Paris. We were both friends before.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in a relationship. He was in one. We were like colleagues first.
Sure.
And, he was just borrowing some dresses for photo shoots at first. And then, life happened. He broke up. I broke up. And we met again. And that's how we fell in love. It was quite of a obvious and easy.
Yeah, it just felt right.
It felt right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
exactly.
How did he propose?
Oh my God. It was actually in New York, guys.
Really?
It was here. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Let's see. Maybe it is more romantic than Paris.
Yes. Yeah. It was in New York back, oh my God, for almost 5 years ago.
Wow.
My God, it's the longest engagement.
Oh, your ring is so beautiful.
Thank you.
My gosh.
And it was on a refinery rooftop.
Okay.
Actually, the night before my fashion show, my bridal show. It was like during bridal week, and I was like rehearsing at Canoe Studio that day, and I was like wearing really bad clothing. And he just arrived and said, "Okay, let's go have a drink." And he was in a suit, and so I was like, "I'm not like dressed up or anything." He was like, "No, let's go. We'll have drinks just before your runway so you can relax and stuff." And he just proposed like this randomly on the rooftop. Saying,
"Oh, that's what Greg threw you off the set." Really? Were you shocked?
Yeah. I was completely shocked because I was obviously not expecting that day, that week. And I mean, you know, when you're in the bridal industry, you always think about others and not yourself.
Definitely.
So it was really far from my daily life or vision, but I was thrilled and so happy. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
And are you feeling stressed at all with the wedding planning, or do you not even have time to be stressed because you're
you know what? That's a really good one. I don't have time to be stressed. I'm stressed about delivering my gowns this season. I'm always stressed about
that's to your point about putting all the brides before you. That's
exactly.
like the weird part about being in the industry.
I'm not stressed. I'm excited.
Good.
Because I've been waiting.
Yes.
I mean, we've been waiting, and not in the way that we're impatient. It's not that. It's just that we're so happy to finally do it.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many brides also ruin their day or everything because they were getting too stressed or controlling.
Yes.
I feel like I have the right vendors and people around me, and also, I mean, Greg is an amazing experience. He has so much experience on the wedding day. When, my work is to be there before, and he sees it all on the big day. So he usually shares a lot of his concerns or, the agenda for the day. So he gives insights that are very, very helpful to get everything set. So.
You guys are double whammy, both in the wedding industry, on either ends, because I think most brides listening, their fiance is probably the less involved party.
Oh my God, for them. Yeah.
I know. Whether they like it or not,
Oh, okay. You know what? Greg still teases me about the fact that I'm all into the designs and he will just pay the bills. He's like, yeah, whatever, do the flowers, do this, do this.
Hey, everyone has a role to play here, That's Greg's role.
Yeah, no. I'm into the design.
Yes.
Like, the design is more me, but the agenda and everything, like, for the day is more him.
Yeah. And he can probably appreciate the design elements a little bit more than, the average groom can.
Yes.
Planning a wedding can get expensive quickly, which means there's not always a lot left in the budget to put toward your honeymoon. That's where a honeymoon fund with Honey Fund can help. As the most trusted honeymoon and cash registry, Honey Fund makes it easy for your friends and family to contribute to all parts of your dream getaway, from airfare to hotels to attractions or even candlelit dinners. It's a classy way to ask for cash so you can start your marriage with some extra funds for your amazing new adventure. Start your registry at honeyfund.com and make your honeymoon happen. Click the link in the episode description to get started. Well, Rime, on each episode, we do something called premarital counseling.
Oh my God.
So one of our listeners will write in, and we always change names. We like to keep it anonymous so people feel comfortable.
Okay.
But we like to give them a little bit of advice.
Sure.
And I thought that you might be good for some advice today.
Bring it on.
All right, I'm going to read this.
Yes.
We're going to call her Francine. Okay. All right. SOS. I went wedding dress shopping with my mom and one of my sisters. Since my other sister couldn't make it, we took pictures and videos to send to her. Long story short, I found my dream gown.
Amazing.
I absolutely love everything about this dress and the way I look in it. Because we had a few other appointments scheduled, my sister convinced me not to get the dress that day. But I haven't stopped thinking of it since, and it really feels like it's my dress. Fast forward to yesterday, when I created a shared album of my dresses for my mom and sisters, which I accidentally invited my fiance to.
Oh.
I didn't realize that I even did it until he said, "Ooh, what's this? You look beautiful." I snatched the phone and deleted him from the shared album, but I can't believe he saw the dress. I have other appointments for dresses, but I felt in my gut that that was my gown. Should I forget about this dress and weigh my options? What would you do in this situation?
Oh my God, I would just pick the dress. He probably don't even remember it.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'm sorry to say that.
I know.
Okay, I'm blunt. Sorry, but he doesn't remember it.
No.
Like, he just saw a white, pretty dress on her, and that's it.
Exactly.
And he's not going to get into all the details and stuff. Just follow your gut, go for the dress, and, please yourself. Don't overthink about it.
Yes.
It was... He will still cry and be all emotional that day with the veil and the flowers and the bouquet and the makeup and the people.
Yes.
It's not only like an iPhone photo. You know what I mean?
It changes the whole vibe, like you said, when you have all the accessories and the makeup. He's not.
Yeah, it's
remember.
a whole. It's a whole. Like,
yes.
You know what? For the history, like my fiance, who's supposed he's a wedding photographer, but he happens to be the GM of my company as well because he has a business side that I really need on my daily life. And because my civil dress was on the making lately, and he actually went through the atelier to make signed paper to my seamstress, and the dress was hanging. I mean, there was something on it, but you could see a bit of it. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, let's not make a big deal out of it.
No. I can almost guarantee if I showed my husband my wedding dress beforehand, he would forget about it. And like she said, she's just starting wedding dress shopping. So I would gather it's a little ways away. I was talking with a straight male friend recently, and he said that he would not know any wedding dress out of a lineup. Like, he couldn't remember any of our dresses. It's just, unless he's very astute and
very fashion focused and knows all about it. It's like, sometimes I get brides into the store saying, oh, I can't wear this because my fiance doesn't like lace. I was like, but does he know all different kind of laces?
Right.
You have the grandma type of lace and you have the lingerie type of lace.
Exactly. So I'm sure your fiance would like that.
Yeah, I think he would like that. Yeah, the lingerie type of lace is a bit more refined and delicate.
Yes.
Whether the grandma lace is a bit too old-fashioned. So let's not make a big deal out of it and she should go for the dress.
Go for it, Francine.
Go for it, Francine. Yeah.
And she also mentioned something that I wanted to ask you about. She said that she took a bunch of photos and videos.
Yes.
So I've had brides who've had experiences in bridal shops where you are allowed to take photos or videos or you're not. And they have different reasons.
Yes.
What is your thought process on that? Do you think that
we should or not?
Should? Yeah.
I feel like the store owner, designer, or stylist should take them.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. It's because the lighting, the angles will be either flattering or not.
Yes.
And usually the people that take the photos, and again, I love all the mamas out there, they're not very comfortable with an iPhone.
Not quite.
And it could be blurry.
I think my mom still has an iPhone 6. I love you, Wen. Sorry.
I love my mom. We love you. But it's just that sometimes they're not capturing the best angles and lighting. And I just feel that, as store owners or designers, we know our dresses, we know the right angles, we know how to make it look flattering. So I would just give my phone to the stylist and say, can you take the photo and video from me?
Yeah.
And this way they can really emphasize the details you want to emphasize according to each design that you have on.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's great
advice. I'm not against it.
Okay.
You need to review it afterwards, obviously, of course. Yeah. It's kind of a hard thing to not accept that because obviously she will see it elsewhere and you need to be, to give them help to pick and choose. It's just that you need to have the right photos. That's
that's actually very, very good advice. I haven't heard anyone recommend that before, and it is really important.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Rime. So last thing I have for you today, this is also something we do on every episode. We call this the Afterparty, and we ask every guest a series of just fun wedding questions. Sure. I added in a couple for you because you are a bride-to-be.
Go. Yeah.
Okay, first question is, what has been the biggest challenge so far in planning your wedding?
Oh, I would say everything is last minute because I take care of myself really badly. That's all. I'm like being an entrepreneur and a mom and, having all this together is just really challenging because, I'm not the first on the list, even from my team.
Yeah. And by the way, just on that topic, I mean, how do you balance that? That's got to be.
It's hard. I mean, I'm lucky to have a small wedding.
Yeah.
Like it's a 50 people wedding, so it's kind of fine. And I mean, I have a planner overseas that helps me a lot. And I mean, because it's a postponed wedding, we also had so many vendors already booked. So I didn't have to go through all the process of finding the right vendors. And I mean, I'm lucky here. I know a lot of people in this industry, so I knew who we wanted for photography, videography, flowers, and so we already knew that.
Yes.
So I actually, I didn't have to find time for this.
Yeah.
So I would say the most challenging part is more logistics and outfits.
Yeah. And that's the most important part, obviously. But even anyone who's not in the industry, I think they could take a little piece of advice from that. It sounds like, obviously you have relationships with people in the industry, but if you find vendors that you can really trust, that takes a whole element of stress out of your day.
Obviously. I feel like two main vendors is the planner and the photographer.
Totally.
These are the two.
Yep.
These are the two. If you find the right, reliable in these two, you're blessed. You can go blindly.
Absolutely.
Trust them.
Because people don't realize how much of the day is really about the photo timeline. And it has to navigate all around that, really.
Yeah. I feel like these two are the creative director of the wedding.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's how I call them.
Love it. Love it. Okay. All right, Rime, what would you tell brides struggling with the stress of weddings?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Really depends of your personality first, obviously. Maybe also your surroundings, like your family, and do you have toxic people around you or not? Like, how can you handle this and put a bit of a distance? I would say try to be in your bubble with your fiancé. Just make your own reality and your own life and say, okay, your wedding is going to be the reflection of the family and life you're going to build.
Yes.
So just put yourself in this bubble and try to stay away from any, toxicity or stress from the outside, because usually the stress is not created by the bride herself.
Right.
It's usually the people around her.
Yes.
So you just need to, turn towards your fiancé and say, okay, what do we want?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. What are you most looking forward to at your wedding?
Oh my God, all the love.
Oh, that's
all
sweet.
The love. Yeah, I'm gonna, just
you're such
take
a romantic.
I am.
I love it.
I mean, you know what? How many occasions in your life you're gonna have to gather all the people you love? Even at birthday, some people can't make it, and it's not the same emotion. Like a wedding is the one thing in life you're gonna gather all the people you love and have been part of your life, and they're watching your love story unfold.
Yes.
So I feel like just getting all the love and sharing this is gonna be amazing. And of course the fashion runway and party. I mean,
of course.
Yeah. I mean, a wedding is a runway. I'm always saying that you need to have the fun.
Absolutely. And, we're all so excited for you to share in the love, but I think, we're all really looking forward to seeing your outfits, Rime.
No, they're excited to see the looks. I know.
It's going to be fabulous. Okay. Now, this doesn't have to be necessarily for your own wedding. Okay. This can be like fun things. What would be your recommended honeymoon destination to anyone getting married?
Oh, God. I mean, I'm a huge lover of Bali because, I've been there several times.
Okay.
I feel like this place is just beyond. It's just go there. It's spiritual, it's magical, it's unique. And in Bali, you have different places. Like you have the jungle, you have the surf, you have the sea, you have the cliffs, you have everything. Like, I just love it there.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
okay.
I would say Bali. And actually, I do love California because one of my favorite trips was on the West Coast, up to down, and it was just amazing. So I would not recommend this to an American, but for someone else, I would say, just do a road trip with your loved one.
Yeah. California is beautiful. You know, we forget about it.
Yeah, you
it's in the
forget
States,
about it. And obviously, you have to go to Italy. I just went back from Lake Como. I know everyone is saying it's overrated. It's been seen a lot. You guys, no, it's not out of fashion. It's amazing. Just go there. It's stunning.
It is so fabulous. We were just talking about it this morning. We went last September, and it feels like a resort, like Disney World, but real life.
Yeah.
It's just perfect and pristine. And
it's
has so much
enchanting.
culture and,
It's enchanting. Yes.
That's the perfect word to describe it. Yeah, I think Lake Como, and it's very romantic.
Completely.
Like, you have to go with a lover. You can't, it's not a
no,
girl's
you
trip.
don't go with, it's not a girl's trip destination.
No.
Go with
Unless
a
you
girl
want to fall
somewhere
in love
else.
with one of your girlfriends, so do it. All right, Rime, what is your dream wedding cake flavor?
I love anything with pear flavor.
Pear?
Pear and vanilla.
Oh, pear.
Oh, you say pear.
No. Well, that's my ugly accent.
Sorry,
No, it's yours is better.
Pear.
Yes.
Pear and vanilla.
Pear and vanilla. Oh, no one says that. So underrated.
You never had it?
I don't think not in a cake.
Oh my God.
No.
I mean, one of my friends back home, her name is Catherine. She has a brand called Made in Cake. She's based in Provence. She does a lot of Provence weddings. She does this flavor with pear and vanilla. Is just yummy.
Oh my
so
God.
good.
I'm getting so hungry. Okay. All right, Rime, what song will get you on the dance floor at a wedding?
Oh God. Always Beyonce.
Oh, yeah. Anyone in particular? Any song you love?
Any song?
Yeah.
I would say Crazy in Love of Single Ladies.
Oh,
I would go there and just get crazy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You're not going to not.
No.
All right, Rime. And then last question I have for you today is, what is one piece of practical advice that you could give to any couple planning a wedding?
Practical. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
I would say that see the budget you had in mind at the beginning at 30%. And that's good.
Yes.
And just, it's like building a house. You know you're not going to respect that budget. And just be aligned with that, be okay with that, be prepared. And that's it. And this way, you're going to avoid many arguments together.
Absolutely. It is so true. And people don't realize it.
No, but you just need to, know about it.
You're only going to do it once.
Yes, exactly.
God willing,
And don't regret any of it because, you're going to have the day of your life.
Yes.
And just go with it and, relax.
Oh, beautiful. Rime, thank you so much for doing this. This was so much fun.
It was so
Where
much
can
fun.
everyone find you and Rime Arodaky?
Yes, online. Of course, we have amazing e-shop in Paris if you want to take the plane to visit us in the 16th arrondissement or in our Soho flagship in New York.
16th arrondissement.
Yeah.
Oh, God, your voice is so beautiful.
You need
I wish
to
I could keep you
come.
all day. I know. Well, the next time we come, I'm gonna shoot you a message and I'll come visit you in the studio. Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, well, thank you so much for doing
much,
this.
Adriana. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Honey Fund. Join more than 1 million couples on Honey Fund and start your fee-free registry at honeyfund.com today. Thanks for tuning into the Prenup. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform or on the Love Stories TV YouTube channel. Follow at @the_pre_nup and at Love Stories TV on Instagram for more. Have feedback or suggestions for the next episode? Feel free to reach out to us at podcast@lovestoriestv.com.